Watch all of the VODs, cooking up some nice strats as we see the first map selection here for Weibo Gaming. Nothing surprising here. Taking us to Ilios. SSG, though, Hawk has all the tanks, Jake, in his pool that you need at the moment. And Weibo, what do they decide to do? Something we saw them do a little bit earlier against Team CC. They get rid of D.Va early on. So the D.Va got in there, and then an Ashe ban. So I like this response from SSG because Shy's been playing a ton of that hero.
Yeah, and I think in particular, on this map, you're very likely to want to play Freya into the Winston. It's a really great matchup for Chronic, one that he's extremely comfortable on. And usually, Shy isn't going to want to do that. He's going to want to play the Ashe, have the hard hit scan to take down enemy Freyas, enemy Echoes, to take them out of the sky. But now you've really set up your DPS to succeed for SSG, and that's been the strong point for them this tournament. Not to mention, we saw Billy Deng pave the way. You can play Zarya in this matchup. They played them all the way to the wire from Team CC.
Yeah, and I mean, look, nothing against Team CC. Obviously, SSG a step up in terms of competition, especially when you look at some of the control damage. Remind you, 2-1 there for SSG, but it was a beatdown from Crazy Raccoon thrown in the mix. So that obviously is their 1 L here on control. Otherwise, perfect in their other 2 games.
They're a very strong team when it comes to these raw deathmatch scenarios, able to take over the game with individual prowess. Chronic, I feel like, has been heating up more and more in this tournament, and Sugar Free and Hawk just came in swinging. They really have not slacked off throughout the tournament. Even in that CR game, there were moments, right, where they were able to find a bit of purchase against one of the best teams in the world. And I feel like Team CC, they came into that matchup against Weibo with a lot of respect, playing maybe not their usual comfort style. SSG are not a team I would accuse of being too respectful of the competition.
No, without a doubt, as this series is going to be a banger. Our #1 team from China, Weibo, and our #2 from NA in Spacestation Gaming. A first to 3 here as well, so a little bit of a longer affair in our loser round 2. Loser of this gets 7 and 8. The next match will be the other slot in that 7 and 8. And I know, obviously, SSG has a little bit dreams of going further. I think Weibo is probably, Jake, for me, just trying to prove a little bit, like, hey, they beat Team CC, great. Like, let's see how you fare against one of the best teams in another region. For Weibo to just beat Team CC and then to go home, be a mighty disappointment.
It's just 2 teams matching up here on the server as they've done time and time again, but this time, there's the hopes and dreams of an entire region. Weibo Gaming, our last representative from China. They want to go further. Matt, they want to reclaim some of the former glory that many on this squad have enjoyed, but standing in their way are an absolutely villainous Spacestation Gaming, ready to kill those dreams.
And I'm looking at, Sugar Free coming out on the Echo here, going to have Hawk with those bubbles on the Zarya, able to protect him. Leave was great in the series earlier that we casted on the Echo, but I think it's a read here that they know they're going to be playing the Echo on the side of SSG, come out with that Tracer to try and make Sugar Free's life really hard.
Now SSG rotating away, playing this one slow. Got to be watchful of this Winston. Got to keep the pressure on Gushui. Don't give him the opportunity to step on the gas. And now, Spacestation find themselves caught a bit in cage. Chronic takes a wide swing, but that Tracer isn't necessarily the fight he's looking for. Hawk just wants to grind this one out, play the point. And Gushui struggling to contest for the moment.
Yeah, just trying to put some constant pressure on the Gushui, right? You don't want to allow him to just get on top of Hawk when he doesn't have those bubbles available. That's when you see Weibo decide to go.
Leave. First blood here on Ilios. And without Sugar Free, he's been a crucial performer for Spacestation Gaming. Can they battle back in the 4v5? Doesn't seem to be. Bonk. With the help of Gushui, they clean up Hawk, and they send Spacestation Gaming packing.
Yeah, even with some of that poke damage from SSG that we were talking about, as CJ barely gets out with his life, TPs through the wall. It was not enough. They were able to kind of constantly heal up Gushui, and then as soon as they find an opening, they get Sugar Free, and then they collapse right on top of Hawk as soon as Zarya has no bubbles. A very easy target to take out, so Weibo get control of the point first.
And Leave unmatched on the Tracer. We'll see if that's a decision that Spacestation Gaming live to regret. Bubbling an Echo in, but no one to be found. There's no targets in Sugar Free sight. Struggling to get purchased into this map. And Weibo Gaming are dancing around experts on this Winston style. Here comes Lee from behind, punching in. Hawk caught alone in the rush. Trapped away from his teammates. Chronic finds one, but Lee running rampant. No one left to mark this Tracer, but CJ, hold on. still something left to play for if these supports from SSG can stay alive and regroup. And they're doing just that on the high ground. Now Sugarfree's back into it.
Yeah, Sugarfree binds one.
SSG are right back into this. Gushue's out.
Oh, that is such a turn there from SSG that even after they lose Hawk, they're able to get control of the point, win that fight. And now, also, Jake, they didn't really have to use anything to do it, right? Sugarfree in the kill feed, CJ as well. That allows them to hold on to some of those ultimates. Suzu, they are trying to keep Shy alive. And now also the sound barrier.
Absolutely necessary. Suzu, perfectly placed by Monk. Gets the 4v5 advantage for Weibo. Second kill as well. Goes their way. And for now, the Winston dive seems to be working out. Sugarfree considering a clutch, but surely 1v4. Too much to ask for as Weibo take the flip.
Man, even though SSG, they get that flip, they get control, it does not last for long. Weibo goes in, uses the sound barrier from Mew, and just takes it right back, even with the Kitsune rush there. For here at the start, they do not want to let Weibo take that top high ground position and kind of force them back to the choke. They want to figure out a way to get a little bit more aggressive here on defense. Take that space back. Gushui on the
Winston on Shambali. This is a risky gambit. But who else would take it besides Gushui? SSG maybe looking to fall back for now, play the next corner, recognizing the dive just too threatening to their Devil Flex support backline. You've got to be so cautious as DJ and left.
This feels so risky though. I mean, the Ram is a much safer pick here for Weibo, but hey, if Gushui has an opportunity to play Winston, he's gonna go for it.
One primal map. That could be all it takes. Two connections. Mew is low, but gets saved. Okay, Monk carefully on the case. Sugarfree onto the signature tracer with a fast charging pulse bomb. Will it be enough? Left, forced to rip that support ultimate. It's not enough to keep him alive. CJ holding on to the rush for now, but may need it to close on to this fight. Gushui finding all the purchase on this Winston. And Spacestation just don't find a chance to commit to this fight. They get a bit of damage, but ultimately, Weibo come away with the kills.
Yeah, and I think they do have Hawk and CJ who make it out with their lives. You see Hawk playing around this first corner. They're also going to get left back.
Watch the boobs, watch the boobs. Okay, Hawk just barely makes it in. Lep had to step on a point to save the game there for a moment. Weibo, Shy is coming back with that OC. Gushui falls back for the moment to stay for ground. That was way too close for comfort for SSG.
But that was the rush. So the rush is out. Now you have Lee with a pulse bomb here on the flank. Shy with an overclock.
Every tool you could want. Pooped into the air, but the roll away. It keeps Chronic alive. Hawk has taken out the biggest threat from Weibo, and the trades are good. Spacestation deathmatching through this.
There is a path here for SSG to do something incredible. Chronic finishes off Leave there. That'll be the fight.
It's so hard, Matt. You're talking about Shy with an overclock, Gushui with a primal rage, and absolutely nothing.
You need
Spacestation Gaming ult bank.
You need like a double headshot here from Chronic, finishing off a support,
you need a hero,
or a Squishy, or Sugarfree to make a huge play.
He's ready. He wants to slide in so bad. Looking for any excuse. Sugarfree hiding in the corner. Not get enough huge damage on a Shy. They get the kill. He's out. Now Gushui has to do it alone. The primal rage, will it be enough? Chronic punished for his hubris, getting aggressive. Sugarfree forced back, but Hawk continuing to cut down Weibo, who are crumbling at the final hurdle. Gushui still has that primal. Could just be enough to overwhelm with the raw ultimate bank. SSG, desperation now trying to stay alive. Left wall rides away into the attacker spawn. Who's there to hold the cart? Weibo charging it forward. The pulse bomb is good.
The beat's late.
Too late. And now SSG beginning to regroup. Leave does find a connection. OC is back. Can Shy find the connection? High noon pop, but Mew takes down Chronic. CJ takes out Leave. There's still a fight to be had. It's just Hawk and Left fighting this one out. Weibo coming back fast, and Hawk only with the self-destruct. Surely it won't be enough. Can he get the research? Oh my, way too close. But Shy gets the map done in the end. That one was down to the wire. Weibo are gonna be sweating.
That is way too close for comfort if you are Weibo. As Gushui goes to the Winston, even though it looked incredible on the Ram, he decides to go to that Winston, and they barely pull it out. I mean, gotta give credit to SSG, a tremendous effort on defense. I thought when Sugarfree gets that pulse bomb onto Gushui, that was it. But man, you know, just too many players coming up the spawn for Weibo.
So many ultimates in the tank, and the fact that they nearly clinched that fuller hold. There's still some life left in Spacestation Gaming. Still some fight. But Weibo still, nonetheless, they're up 2-0. They're ready to send Spacestation Gaming home.
We take a look at some of the stats here. Leave yet another good game here for Weibo. Man, I'd love to know the opinion of everybody online of Goushway making that change off of the Ram, because it's like, you know, we talk about how, okay, Ram is one of the other heroes in his pool. He was unbelievable in the first half. They couldn't move him out of the way. Basically same comps in the next go-around, and we decide, hey, you know what? Let's go back to what we ran on Ilios a little bit and try and make it work. And they make that change with like 2 minutes to go, and it goes down all the way into OT.
So many crucial moments. Great game from CJ, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 deaths on the Kiriko.
Really good day overall from him.
Yeah, really solid.
You see Hawk there.
Oh. I mean,
Final moments,
that mech drop, man, like, if
Dude.
Shy doesn't kill him with the headshot, that is scary territory.
They were too close.
That was
they were too close. I mean, that is one where Hawk, that would have been like the play of the event by far.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
mech drops on Shy right there.
It would have been insane. The Weibo fans would have rushed the stage. As we now have SSG trying to do their best Twisted Minds impression. They're going to have to run this one all the way back. They still have that Ramatra ban available. As we've discussed, potentially a pretty strong one here against Weibo. You could also potentially get rid of the Tracer, right? You know, Leave has obviously been playing Tracer a lot of the series. We'll see, though, what map do you think you're going to here?
Next best for Spacestation Gaming, maybe something like, I mean, a Kings.
Kings, I was
gonna... but I mean, Winston is playable there. It's crazy. It's crazy to even say that.
Would you go? I mean, could you go Runa Soppy? Because there always is the threat of Weibo going to New Queen Street and playing like aggressive.
Yeah, maybe
style.
taking Munasapi, avoiding
New Queen Street.
It might be the best dive map left in the pool. They're gonna go to Kings though.
This is another great option, right? And we see a lot of teams also do this because you obviously have more escort maps in the pool and hybrid maps where a lot of the teams feel pretty similarly about like which flashpoint map they would go to and which push map they would go to. So you feel like you're only really conceding that first ban to the opponent as opposed to, you know, map selection as well. So Kings Row will be the choice here for SSG. This feels like it would be a great spot for that Ram ban, right? Because if you take away the Ramatra, you know, is Goushway just going to play Winston? Doesn't strike me as he's going to play Diva. And you also kind of protect maybe like a Zarya ban or something on the other side.
We have to see. I mean, I would have thought the Ram ban would have come out last map, but this time it looks like is it going to be the Wu Yang ban from SSG and Zarya ban? Interesting.
Yeah, so at least here that looks like what the potential is. So we did see some double flex backline there from Weibo in that previous map, where it doesn't seem like SSG really wants to kind of go in that direction. And I did say, you know, maybe you ban the Ram to end up protecting the Zarya, but the Zarya goes.
And Lep did look pretty good, frankly, on the Wu Yang, right? Was making, I mean, that's almost, I think, what forced Goushway to feel like he had to go Winston because the backline was getting so much value from SSG, just poking away. CJ, I mean, only a couple deaths on that entire map. You felt like you had to get in, had to get aggressive and deal with them. So banning out that Wu Yang is going to force, I think, a little bit more of an honest Lucio carry mirror, and that's a place where Mew and Monk have looked incredibly comfortable for Weibo.
Yeah, so SSG, their final map pick here. So obviously they would need to run it all the way back from this point. Weibo, though, I mean, they look night and day from what we thought. We thought this team was going to beat Team CC and then maybe kind of fumble out here, but that has not been the case. And it's kind of wild to me because it feels like a team that it's, you know, there's no surprises in terms of what they're going to play. Like, it feels like this is a team that you can, you know, maybe not exactly counter pick every map and like ban out every map, but it feels like a team that you have a great idea of what they're going to do. What they like to do is not exactly meta or strong at the moment, and somehow they're still able to make it work.
And I feel like Leave is back in that MVP form. he's having big game after big game, and I feel like at this point, you have to take notice. You have to put some respect on the name, because Sugar Free has had quite a similar tournament. You set that Crazy Raccoon game aside.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been having big, like, huge performances. Dropped a 37-0 map, I think, on T-Peps.
Yeah.
I mean, a crushing performance. And Lieb is getting the edge, I think, in the Flex DPS battle here.
It does feel like, though, for Weibo to go far in this tournament, they need Shy and Lieb to return to
Absolutely.
that MVP-style duo on the international stage we have seen in the past. It feels like that is their path to make a deep run. If they are average damage dealers at this event, I don't think it's going to be enough for this team to move forward. The Ram makes it through, they play it again. So this is something that, like, if you're looking at Weibo Gaming, you got to get this Ram out in one of these games. It feels like this is such a convenient fallback for them, because, like, Gushui does not want to play the Zarya or a D.Va. He would most certainly rather play the Ram after the Winston. Like that's like kind of what he would like to play, either those two.
Yeah. I mean, I think the read from SSG is that they can beat Ram with D.Va. That's how they see this matchup, and I think that's what is expressed in the bans they chose. I agree with you. I would have preferred to see the Ram ban, but it's time to test SSG's hypothesis. Can they, in fact, crush this matchup? Is it as confidence-inspiring as it seems to be for their coach?
We'll see as
Hawk's in deep here, all the way to the back.
He does get great positioning. I do think, though, it's so risky for Sugar Free to kind of cross this gap, especially against somebody like Shy, farming up a railgun.
They've got all the space in the world. Weibo have yielded everything but the back corner of point, just trying to hold on with this Ramatra. Hawk comes in over the top. And a quick rotation for Weibo Gaming, looking for kills, but finding nothing. Cleanse forced out. Hawk right on top of the backline. Shy incredibly low. And the cleanup is there. Sugar Free gets the kill. It cost Hawk the suit. And so Weibo not out of it yet. Still continuing into this battle. Sugar Free needs the heals, needs the support. Both DPS low for SSG. And Lieb gets that cleanup. Massive for the stabilization.
Yeah, but guess who's still standing throughout all of this? Gushui by the point, kills Trey yet again. Chronic finds both supports. This might be the opening here for SSG. Gushui is still very healthy, though.
No supports. That's a big find. You're lacking the sustain, but Weibo doing this incredibly well. Holding point with the Venture Burrow. No risk to that. Stalls things out. Buys time, and now Weibo back and fighting at full strength. SSG have to win a 5-on-5.
Yeah, Gushui can just step up right after Lieb contest with the Burrow, and you haven't even given up one tick at the moment.
Oh, this fight is crucial. Lieb misses a couple very impactful shots, and that gets Sugar Free out of trouble. Weibo Gaming still fighting very close to these support ultimates. Monk desperately trying to finish this charge with the rush. Comes in with the team on the rotate. Here's the rush onto the point. Solo shot is good. Enough to take down two. CJ gets the cleanup. And now Weibo, they do have their own rush on point, but it's just Mew for the heals. One tick to SSG. They're looking for more, and Hawk wants it all.
There is a brief moment where I was like, is Mew gonna beat here? I mean, we have seen some wild ones from Weibo, but they decide they will live to fight another day. That is gonna be SSG taking the checkpoint here. So Weibo will have their sound barrier plus tectonic shock to fight in this choke. Could be a very good combo, and one of these corners that it's tough to get the Ramatra out of.
Sugar Free on the flank. He's unscouted. No footsteps from this Echo. Goes wide with the 6, but the Ram copy gonna keep him alive here in the heart of the team fight. Beat down from Mew, but no kills yielding from it. Sugar Free still in this copy. If he can get the Annihilation online, yes he can. Pushes back the rest of Weibo and cleans them out.
The copy there for Sugar Free. He did a great job, was quite low, obviously. With the duplicate, you don't have the same amount of overall HP as a normal Ramatra. He gets around the corner, blocks just enough to be able to get that ultimate, and then as soon as he has the Annihilation, he gets healed up. Left with the beat, gets him around the corner. They are good to go. As Mew now gonna bring in the Brig, so they feel like, dude, Hawk has definitely been on a tear the last 2 maps. Gonna need it.
Sugar Free, once again, he's taking a risk. He has no copy to bail himself out this time. An instant first kill is what he's hoping for. Hawk comes in, perfect synergy there. And the D.Va, she has that self-destruct, but surely it's too difficult to survive. The cleanse is good, but it's enough to get the bomb kills. Weibo Gaming, that's a stationary self-destruct.
We do not have a good vantage of what happened there. There was no like boop though. Like,
I mean,
like you don't see Leb like in the feed, right?
Chronic hit the bola shot, so I guess the CC from the bola shot was just
maybe enough.
Right? So they couldn't get away. Hold on, Shy. He doesn't want to get away from anything. Wants to step up, but the boop is good from Leb, and CJ gets the kill.
Oh, no, I mean, dude, they're not able to keep CJ and Lep alive. So even after those kind of heroics there from SSG,
Oh, they get the cap. That's good. They win.
Oh, they do end up getting the cap.
Yeah, the boop from Lep. It secured the cap. They didn't need to win the fight.
Oh, that is enormous there for SSG. I mean, above 4 minutes here in the time bank as well, as Weibo struggled a little bit here on the defensive side.
And Weibo got a bank of ultimates. See if they can make use of them. That's a welcome kill from Shy onto CJ. It's gonna slow down Spacestation Gaming, take some of the tempo out. But they've got a lot of ults to farm. They don't necessarily mind playing a bit slow. Weibo have to meet these ults out perfectly with 3:20 on the clock. There's a lot of leeway for Spacestation to work with.
Yeah, but like what? You have Rally, Rush, Annihilation here to work with for Weibo. You should be able to win this fight as Lep takes a big shot there with not a ton invested.
Copied Venture, keeping Sugar Free alive. He has his tech shock of his own, but he's bursted down. And Goshui getting value. In the end, a 2-for-2 ult trade, and Weibo holds strong. That's an ideal ultimate economy spot to be. As now the clock continues to run, and Weibo still fighting at full strength.
Especially for Weibo, because you end up keeping the Annihilation plus the Rally. It's going to be so difficult to take out that Ramatra with
Hawk.
the Rally rolling.
I mean, it's going to be a struggle for Hawk, frankly.
I feel bad.
At close range, hard to play off angles. How's he going to navigate this scenario? An incredible challenge here. Is Weibo refusing to yield ground for free. Spacestation Gaming, they're going to have to force something out. Good connection with damage. The rail is good and it's cleaned up by Leave. Hawk dives in, tries to assist that dive, but it's all for naught. Spacestation Gaming roll cart for just a few meters, but that's all they're going to get in this team fight.
Dude, I hate this though for SSG because like you don't even actually get them worried enough to invest the Rally or the Annihilation.
I mean, they're not making any progress in the economy. If anything, it's getting worse.
No, that's what I mean. It's getting progressively worse, right? Because like Monk is already more than half to that next Kitsune rush here. You need an early pick or something, and there it is.
Bola shot. It connects onto Leave. It disables that burrow. You're not able to get out of trouble. Gushui now holding defensively, but the cart is rolling. Now Mew steps up with the Rally, says enough is enough. Going to be forced to commit those ultimates. A big beat from Lep. Keeps Hawk alive and fighting. Now Mew falling back with his Rally. Knows he doesn't have enough gas to keep going. Shy with the OC though. That's certainly a go sign for Weibo Gaming. He steps up looking for a kill. Needs to find one more connection. Chronic giving him no opportunities. A full rail into the back of Hawk. And CJ goes down. Self-destruct available. SSG, do they want to continue this fight? It seems not. Hawk chooses not to invest the ultimate. Taking the reset instead, but Weibo essentially have held this corner for more than 2 minutes.
And still, Gushui able to hold on to this Annihilation, and you've kind of held on to it for so long, and did such a great job on defense. You've come full back around to have another Kitsune rush. You know, the Ramatra, even without the Annihilation within the rush, is so difficult to deal with. We'll see if SSG can do it, but Jake, it doesn't look great right now.
There's no clear holes in this cycle. Can Chronic do it? Needs to be a hero with the bola shot. Connects onto one, but there's no kills resulting from it. Sugar Free with the Ram copy. Could assist in this frontline battle. A later rush for Spacestation Gaming. If they can live through this, they could find themselves in an advantage position. Sugar Free so close to that copied Annihilation, but can't quite get it off. Shy, too much damage coming in, and Gushui finally forced into the Annihilation of his own. Continuing to run this clock down, but finally Weibo find themselves without ultimates. They have to fight this one out. Chronic on his lonesome on the flank, getting punished by Shy, but may have just slipped out of there. Incredible movement from the frame.
Yeah, that is really nice tech there from Chronic, as I thought he was dead to rights. As we head into OT, it's just Hawk with this self-destruct.
Will it be enough? See if he's able to get into the backline. Chronic over the top, putting down a lot of damage. Self-destruct into the main group. Sugar Free takes down Mew. That's arguably the best kill you could find. Now the rest of Weibo Gaming, without their main support, have to fall back, have to play this one safe. They need Mew to connect on this Rally, or Shy to find something with the OC. But left only a few percentage points away from the beat.
They're just not able to capitalize on getting Mew, as he's going to be back in the action. You have an overclock here for Shy.
Bolts are good, Shy.
So close to the Rally.
Instant beat out of CJ, or out of Left rather, keeps CJ alive. Now Hawk steps up. The bullet shot is enough to take down Shy, and Monk falls right behind him. Mew with the rally, holding strong, but it's C9. No way, Spacestation Gaming. That is a heartbreaker, Matt. And this is your tournament life on the line. Oh, they're gonna be feeling that one in the morning.
Oh, man. You think back to map 1 on Ilios?
Oh,
You get that duplicated Lucio, Lap and Sugar Free, they're feeling themselves, they're chasing, and oh wait, we forgot the point. Right here, they get the bolus shot and they kill Shy, who's got the overclock rolling.
it looks so good.
They have the
perfect
beat.
start.
Yeah, they have the beat to fight through the rally.
Yeah.
And they get an early advantage, and it just seems like nobody able to make it back there to the payload. They did get a good push. I will say though, tremendous defense though there from Weibo. I mean, that's like a 4-minute plus they had when they get that second checkpoint, and they don't even give up a map completion.
Yeah, that corner hold looks so well practiced for Weibo Gaming, and kind of questioning, frankly, some of these ban decisions for Space Station. They haven't banned the Ram out either of the last 2 maps, and both times it's been crucial. Let's check out what happened on this C9. Chronic on cart steps away from the burrow, and everyone just a step. It was like 3 players a step away from
And it
cart.
looked like maybe Lep actually thought he triggered it, because he was like wall riding, and it looked like he dipped a little bit, but maybe just a little bit too high out of the box.
I mean, that right, that's like on the absolute line.
Edge of the yeah,
incredibly tight there. But that's the margins you have to play with if you want to compete at this level. If you want to be the world champion here in Stockholm, you can't be making mistakes like that. Space Station Gaming, there's going to get their last reprieve, their last chance to clean up their act if they want to stay alive in this tournament.
I gotta say, Jake, I like this comp from Weibo. Leave on the Tracer, and then you still have, like, obviously you lose Monk here, so most likely gonna end up losing the fight. But, that Kiri Brig backline pairs decently well with the Tracer and the Ram. It's a nice first fight from SSG, but I do not hate the look here from Weibo early on.
I mean, real veterancy being shown by Space Station Gaming, being willing to take a brutal team fight C9 like that, and then come back in with a very aggressive defense. I mean, most teams we see on Kings Row do not play this style, do not dive forward onto the attackers, but Space Station Gaming, or if anything, they're playing like they're up 2-0. They're playing like they're dominating the series here on Kings Row D.
I mean, this is what you want to see, right?
Absolutely.
Chronic start to get the better of Shy.
Widow?
In this hit scan battle.
I mean, Widow is a conservative. You're like forced to go Widow just to clear the attackers or clear the defenders out of your spawn.
Right, just get them out of the line of sight there. Allow Gushui to push up.
Gushui steps up, taking a lot of damage. Here comes the wrap. Once again, SSG looking for those vulnerable backliners. Chronic trying to get a connection, but Gushui reads it well this time. Has 2 on the fight, and so Weibo with the player advantage. Sugar Free pulls it right back, but the trade down is good. SSG looking to heal up. Hawk and CJ preparing for an inevitable recontest. They are absolutely not giving this one for free.
That looks like Weibo very close to taking this point. Some players from SSG up on the high ground. Will we get a contest? It'll be Hawk who drops down. Will get a touch at least. We'll see if they're able to hold this for long. Bola shot in, puts down some damage. Not enough though.
We'll have to see here. Can Space Station clutch it out? Sugar Free with the copied Ram. Lep finds a kill on the fight. And so there's still the fight to continue here. CJ, beautiful save onto his main support. Sugar Free holding onto the frontline tank roll. Incredible flexibility from the young DPS. And now Sugar Free looks to clean up Gushui, making the hold on Kings Row. SSG refused to be knocked out in Stockholm.
SSG barely hanging on here. 2 ticks for Weibo. So not out of it just yet, but this would be a huge clutch up here for SSG. They also still have that Ramatra band that we've been kind of harping on available. Could get themselves back in this series right away.
Aggro beat. No support ultimates available. For now, Weibo, they do get the rally online just in time, but the damage may have been done. Hawk gets the self-destruct, but he does die in the baby form. Now Weibo fighting 3v4. No tank on the front line. It's turning into deathmatch brawl after deathmatch brawl. But SSG, they keep finding the better of these low number trades. Incredible fortitude. Gushui wants to end the madness here. Steps up onto the point. Threatens the cap. Bowler shot. Forces away the Brigitte. And now Gushui with an annihilation of his own. Continuing on this pressure. Somebody has to touch into it. For now, it's Hawk giving his life to keep the team in contest. But it should just be too much. Weibo Gaming overwhelmed. Gushui blocking for his life. And it's enough to cap first point, but man, SSG are absolutely not out of King's Row yet.
No, not at all. What a first point haul there from SSG. They kind of drag Weibo down into OT. Let's go to a listen-in, though, with Weibo Gaming, see if they can take this second checkpoint.
第二台好了，都在前面那把，你抱着车，他第二炮卡车的，然后现在这边到了，他离我可能快了。我也过他。他英正跟我底下一起交的，英正还没。挂了。艾克没飞，2楼。右边。我可以打波福利啊，左边。他们右边全绕了，我边对一了，右边那位置小心的，那里有点前了点。我们爆车推，他炮卡车的。领上车了，第二地。不要杀，拉起来，就拉起来。拉地，秒用。那身上还没结束的，别人活吧，我走，应该保活吧。能往前推吗？走，你看，走。两个队我这儿，他有灵魂，他有灵魂，我不在的。我也有93，就卖点血吗？卖点血，我马上说你就铃铛保我就行。我留铃铛的。还没有送。有了，飞头上，全头上。我去卖。这把丢啊，他没飞。当时没交警吗？不要，这边可以吗？现在可以交。对啊，这边飞了，到了。我这边走。啊，这边好吧，来这边。
They're inching this card forward, getting purchase in the team fight. Shy finds Chronic. And with the rally on the point, surely that's too much for SSG. That first hold, long forgotten. The second has been an absolute sweep.
Yeah, and maybe if Left gets that sound barrier a little bit earlier as they just finish off CJ, they decide to invest it there.
No
Chronic with the Widow finds one. But maybe if Lep gets the beat a little bit earlier, they try and invest it, keep Hawk alive, kind of cycle into a self-destruct. Just not able to do so. So you see the box of victory there for Weibo Gaming, not only for King's Row, but the whole series.
And this is the moment of maximum pressure. SSG has had such a tough year. And could it all end right here? Left, holding onto the beat, knows that this is the most crucial tool for his team at the moment. Fighting in the flank with Lee, a dangerous task. And he goes down. Lee punishes him. Now SSG, no beat, tail between their legs. Have to just hold on. Hawk refuses to yield ground, playing off that self-destruct, getting every second of delay that he can. A masterful performance on the Diva, but it's not enough. Shy finds Sugar Free. SSG bleeding out near, and Weibo refused to back down. A forced beat out of Left, but only 4 players alive. Weibo now backing, slow, staying alive deep into this fight. They're so close to some back-breaking ultimates, and Gushui refuses to back down, continuing to push this card.
Yeah, you get nothing with that beat, right? You have to use it defensively just to buy you a little bit of space here. Sugar Free, though, does have a dupe coming online. Could be huge.
CJ down. Can't get the rush off. Okay, that does take down View, so there's still a fight to be had. Sugar Free very healthy with the Annihilation. It's Hawk trying to get that self-destruct on. Desperately needs to get back in the suit and can't quite do it. Monk with the headshot. That's for Spacestation Gaming. Their hopes slipping away. Weibo, long have they been doubted, but here, once again, they live to become the last representative for Chinese Overwatch. Stays alive and makes top 6, crushes the dreams of Spacestation Gaming.
It's a huge win for Weibo. We were talking, all right, you beat Team CC, let's see how it goes up against one of the best from the other regions. And they take out SSG. Hey, we were talking in the back. I was like, well, no, I think this one will be close. But I think if it was a 3-0, it feels like it would more likely be SSG to do it. And that could not be any more wrong as Weibo, they come in. It does feel like, though, Jake, I feel like SSG left a little bit of something on the table. It feels like there were some other bans and different things they could have done to make life a little bit harder on Weibo Gaming, because for all 3 maps, they got to play comps that they were fairly comfortable with.
You got to hand it to Weibo.
Yeah,
right? To bring the Ramatra look. Honestly, a lot of props to the supports, because the pace SSG brought was ferocious at moments. And yet, they weathered the storm. I mean, Gushui holding it down into an absolutely disgusting onslaught of damage. I mean, look at that mid stat. 19,000 from both tanks. I mean, truly a clash of titans here on the tank roll. But this time, Hawk's going home.
But if you are going to allow Gushui for basically the whole series to play Winston and Ramatra, and then for Leave to just play Tracer and Venture, there's a lot of teams that they will beat. This is not just a Weibo gets by SSG. Like, they will beat a lot of teams playing this style of play. So for me, Weibo becomes a little bit more interesting going into tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a lot of fight left here in Chinese Overwatch, and Weibo, they've got to carry that flag forward. Very interested to see what they can make of this tournament, maybe the resurrection of what they once had. We'll have to see. We've got Danny down on the stage with an interview to hear more about what their expectations are for this tournament.
Jacob, man, thank you very much. What's up, everybody? I'm here joined by Lee for a quick post-match interview. Lee, congratulations on getting the win. I do want to ask, I mean, you guys are known, Weibo Gaming is known for your, I guess, Winston dive. And every time things are looking a little bit difficult, you guys always pull out the Winston and you guys always make it work. How is that possible?
首先，祝贺 Live 取得本场比赛的胜利。然后呢，我们有一个问题是，每一次微博 Gaming 拿出我们的温斯顿新兴体系，都可以达到一个非常好的效果。有什么心法或者是技巧，想要和我们分享一下？
因为我们有就是世界，不说第一吧，也不说第一吧，世界前3的温斯顿，所以我们这个很强。
We have the top tier Winston in our team. We could not say top tier, but at least top 3 Winston in our team, and that's our key to our victory.
And obviously, there's so many Chinese Overwatch fans here in Stockholm. And of course, a lot of Chinese Overwatch fans are rooting for Weibo Gaming at home, watching you guys right now. Anything you want to say?
我们现场有这么多中国守望先锋的粉丝，以及镜头前屏幕的对面有我们众多的中国守望先锋的粉丝，有什么话是想要对他们说的吗？
我想说的是，虽然我们昨天表现确实不尽人意，非常差吧，但是我想说，我们其实真的是状态起伏非常大的一个队伍，但不代表我们不会玩守望先锋。
I want to say that maybe we didn't deliver a good result yesterday, but that doesn't mean that we cannot play Overwatch.
All right, fantastic answer. Thank you so much. Everybody give it up for Lee one more time. Lee, big congratulations again. Back to you guys, Des.